What is going on, party people? What is going on? This is your boy live and direct in the house. You know what time it is. We made it to another Monday. This year still isn't done. We still got a couple more weeks, man. Please believe me, man. If you guys have people you love around you, be thankful. If you ain't getting the money that you thought you were going to be getting, be thankful. If Christmas ain't what it used to be thankful. If the music don't sound like the way it sounds like, be thankful. Things could be worse. You could be in a place in which your life is not even here. So be thankful. We've made it to another Monday. This is the Soul Show with your boy Brown. And like we always do at this time, we bring on our legends. We're giving our flowers while they are here because this is important to the culture of hip hop. This is important to the city of the O. When you are talking about Orlando legends, you must remember, hip hop is something you live. Okay? Rap is something you do. Hip hop is something you live. And this brother that I'm about to bring on tonight is the prime example of hip hop is something that you live. Ever since I known this brother, he has been doing his damn thing. He's been acting a fool with this hip hop thing for a long time. And he has got a new project coming out. It is out now. Please believe me, if you're a lover of hip hop music, you will love what he is putting together. He is one of Orlando's royalty. If you know this brother, consider yourself lucky. He doesn't fool with a lot of people, man. He is one of the originals in Orlando to do it. I cannot be talking about anybody other than my brother, which I've known as Unique Me. He done flipped the script and he done started something new. It's Cydney Poitier with a brand new project directly from Old Town Sound. Let's go. Give it up for Cydney Poitier. What's good, homie?
What's good? What's good, homie? What's good, Rome?
Yeah.
Look at you, Rome.
Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Hey, man. Glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Bro, you already know, man. It's just an honor and a blessing to be alive, to be talking about hip hop, and to be talking to my brothers who represent the Old Town Sound as well as you do, brother. So kudos to you for that.
Appreciate it, man.
No doubt. Before we get started, before we get into this thing that we are calling hip hop in Orlando.
Yeah.
ORL. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. We know who you are. Good looking. This is a special episode. This is Orlando royalty here. Before we get into that, let's start out talking about, for those that don't know you, how did you start out in hip hop? And where are you originally from? And what part of the ORL are we talking about?
Okay.
So let's get started with that.
All right. Well, you know, the people who got me in this is, you know, God bless the dead, is Drew. You know what I mean? Drew from Jolly Stompers. And you know what I'm saying? It's Drew along with Mike Nice and DJ Ray Swift. And Ray Swift is one of the dudes who's going to be on this show. So, yeah, those guys really started me. Those gave me the drive. You know, they got me my first deal, you know what I mean, with Musical Life. in Orlando, we reside in the Pine Hills area. We're from Pine Hills. It's one of the. It's kind of like a neighborhood. It's different. You know, they used to compare it to neighborhoods up north. You know, Pine Hills was like one of the first neighborhoods where I saw the Muslims out there, you know, with the bow ties, you know what I mean, with the final call out there, just like you would see up north. The first place I saw that in Orlando was in Pine Hills. So we always kind of been the Pine Hills representatives, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So basically, you know,
So,
Pine Hills. You know,
so
I'm originally from Detroit. You know, we came here when we was young, and you know, kind of moved to the Altamont Springs area, and you know, then you know, later on having a family and my son and my wife, later on moved to the Pine Hills area.
we're
So
talking about
that's kind of where we met everybody, and it's kind of, you know, it started from there.
talk about that Forest City Road, that Edgewater,
And
that
Fort Speedway, Edgewater, because that's like, you know, like Lake Weston. Lake Weston, you know, we all lived, my sister lived in Lake Weston. We lived in Lake Weston. Hawkins lived in Lake Weston. Malik lived in Lake Weston. You know what I mean? My parents, they had a house further down on Fort City Road over on Joanne Street. So that was, you know, that was when it was, yo, Fort City Road, you know, Lake Weston, you already know. I ain't got to tell you. You know what I mean?
well, for those that don't know, uh, that area of town, and we're talking about the northern part of like what would be considered Crime Hills, Rosemont area.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, it was tough growing up over there, man. It was tough. It was a tough area. You had to know what you was doing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those places. Once again, when people think of Mickey Mouse, ain't nothing Mickey, ain't no damn mouse
Nah.
up in that area, brother.
Nah, you know that over there, that's, you know, Omega Apartments. Remember Omega
Omega.
Apartments, you know. Matter of fact, that's where Omega Apartments was where, you know, Tony Touch, you know, was everybody was over there like that. Yo, Forest City Road, Lake Weston, Omega Apartments, all that was crazy. It was popping. All of that was going on.
Well, talk about how. I mean, you kind of brushed over it. We'll give you that. But talk about some of the first experiences you had getting into hip hop in Orlando, and what was the scene like when you tried to step in to hip hop in Orlando?
You know, Orlando, you know, back in the day, man, you know, the hip hop scene in Orlando was popping, bro. I mean, I ain't got to tell you know, Barbarella's, you know, uh, you know, the social, these places was popping, bro. Like, you know, hip hop was real hip hop. That's why, you know, the other day, me and you was talking, Rome, and you know, everybody that comes to this city, they absolutely fall in love with this city, and they love this city. The problem is the people that live here they have a hard time with the city, but the people which it should be the other way around, because the people who live here should love the city, because the city, you know, especially, you know, given the platform that you're doing now. But it's crazy that we was talking about that the other day, and you know, people come here to this city and they absolutely love the city. They fall in love with the city.
Right.
You know,
Well, and you're working with the Jolly Stompers. Shout out to Ray Swift. Yes, he will be on in January. Rest in peace, Drew.
yes, sir.
Uh, when they first started serving up them bombs, you know, what was
Uh-huh.
that like for you, being that, you know, that was probably one of the premier production houses.
Stayed in there. I mean, they stayed in there, just digging and digging and digging in the crates, and then they would come back to the studio. You know, I said, you know, the experience with Drew and Ray and then with the whole Jolly Stompers was crazy. It had a profound effect on me, you know, and it's not just me. You know, when I say Markham's Wood Road, you know, where Drew lived. I ain't the only one that can tell you about Markhamswood Road.
Come
You
on,
know,
we gotta talk
Black,
about it.
Black Rob can tell you about Markhamswood Road. Cali Ranks can tell you about Markhamswood Road. Rax can tell you about Markhamswood Road.
Right?
Strange can tell you about Markhamswood Road. And Markhamswood Road had an effect on all of us, to be honest with you. I know that for a fact.
Oh yeah, bro. We were over there. We knew about that road. We knew about that place.
Oh,
Drew
yeah,
was
man.
a welcoming, loving person who, at the end of the day, all he wanted to do was make music and make the best projects he could possibly make. And Ray Swift was exactly the same.
That
It,
sound. That
they
sound,
all
man.
love that sound.
Those dudes had a sound. They had a sound, man, that was just, and it's still, and we practice it to this day. Like the same thing that Drew did, and the same way he was, is what we try to do today. It's the best way. It's just the best way I learned. I
Right.
just think just his method, his regiment, and just the way he was about making beats. And he cared about he just wasn't a guy who jacked the sample. He cared about, this is Bob James. This is a Bob James record. Yo, do you know? Like, he used to be like, yo, do you know that this is a Bob James record? This is a Delphonics. This is a Marvin Gaye. This is a, like, he really cared about. He wasn't just the type of guy that was just taking a sample or whatever. He really knew where it came from and did his history on everything that he ever did with the music. And that's what was special about Drew. You know what I'm saying? And when you coming up under people like that, it gives you like you got to have a sense of urgency on everything when it comes to the music, when it comes to my life, my son, my grandchildren. I try to have a sense of urgency on everything that I do because we don't have long, bro. And that's one of the things that you always said.
Talk about it when we're talking about Drew. Talk about the people that in your life may have not made it. May have went to jail, may have got killed.
Yeah.
Talk about all the people that when you're doing this new project, and we'll get into that later.
All right.
You're doing this project, um, all the shoulders of the people that couldn't make it. Talk about all these people the shoulders that you stand on when it comes to the city of the O.
I tell you, when it comes to this city, and when I think about, some of the things that we've done, I reflect back to Jabon. I reflect back to the mistakes that he made in his life, and what we could have become. You know what I'm saying? If Jabon hadn't made the choices that he made. And so, it's people like him. It's people like, Keith Austin. Keith Austin is how we met the Wu. Got a lot of guys from Wu Tang. It's how we met him. I drive by, his mom's house on Good Homes Road in Pine Hills. I don't know if his mom. I don't even know if his parents are alive still. I don't even know if they own that house. But sometimes when I drive by there, I mean we met those guys through Keith. You know what I'm saying? And the city been great for me, man. And those are the shoulders that I've stepped on, that I've had to stand on to get where I've been and to keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember my first show, being a hit squad member was in Tampa with Prodigal Son and a lot of Dark. Mad people from Orlando came to the show. You know what I'm saying? A couple of guys from Motel 6. Remember them? Sammy came through. A lot of dudes, Kasim and them came through. And those are some of the shoulders that I've had. These is Old Town representatives. Like, when I got my deal, because Craig Hayes, he brokered the deal with Hit Squad, with Boondocks Records. When I got my deal and we did that show in Tampa, that was the start of the show. A lot of people from Orlando, man, came out and supported me, and it was really dope, man. And like I said, those some of the shoulders that I stood on to get where I am. And I'm grateful for that, man. I'm grateful for Craig Hayes too, man. You know, I'm grateful for Atiba. That's another person in the city who, guys told me to go over, Rodney Jerkins' house in Aliquot Lakes and drop a 16-bar verse.
Right.
I'm in Rodney's house, bugging out, like, yo, the city, like everything that I've done with PMD and all of that. Besides all of that, the city, the stuff that has happened to me in this city has been good things, man. Real good things. I mean, Craig flew from Orlando to Long Island to broker my deal.
Right.
And did it so crazy, had PMD come back to the O, and he just made sure that I was going to be taken care of. Big shouts to Marcy Turner, who made that deal happen with Craig. And they made sure that I was safe. And it was an Orlando collective thing, that we went to New York, but it was an Orlando thing, and Craig and all of these guys have been good. And you know what? And Nasty, he's always been in contact with Ray Swift, Craig Hayes. When I was overseas performing at the Chip Shop, Nasty was one of the guys who reached out to me. He texted me when I was overseas, yo, I'm glad y'all shutting it down. I'm glad y'all still doing y'all thing. Yo, hit me when you get back home. Always representing. There's some good things in Orlando, man. People don't talk about the good things, bro.
Shout out to Nasty, who will be on the show in January. Shout out to DJ Nasty. Yes, there is a lot of good things in the city. There's a lot of things that are good, but that are not talked about.
Right.
And so, to your point, a lot of people wouldn't know that the Hit Squad had representatives that live here. A lot of people wouldn't know that Old Dirty Bastard was here.
Lived on Murphy Drive.
Right. A lot of people wouldn't know these things unless, they realize that this city has a way of hiding people.
Yeah.
Does, right? Because there's so many people. I just told my bands the other day, said, yo, yeah, MC Search, he lives here. And he's like, MC Search lives here? It's like, yeah, he's been lived here. But for a lot of people, they don't understand. Shout out to MIM. We gave you a shout out too. Shout out to DJ Sammy B from the Jungle Brothers on the check-in. Shout out to my man Rick. Shout out to Benny.
Jungle Brothers. Word up.
Yes, man. Shout out to MIM because he mentioned something. He said, dude, if we would have labels here, I was like, dude, the labels are here. They've been here.
They've been here. The new labels been here.
They're just not doing anything with anyone.
Right.
They don't see enough representation of the city to be competitive. If you're, you might grab one artist.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're gonna make it a competitive market.
You know what I tell you? You know what? It would be, it would be mad competition. Because let me tell you something. Orlando got a lot of talented MCs, bro.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you something. If it's one thing, because a lot of dudes ain't fans. A lot of dudes really ain't fans. Let me tell you something that PMD always told me. He said, when you stop being a fan, that's when you lose. That's when you lose, dog. I'm a fan of some of these dudes out here. I really am. I'm a fan of some of these dudes. I couldn't name them all, but I'm a fan of some of these dudes. And these dudes know who they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem. I have no problem saying I'm a fan of Strange Flow. I'm a fan of Rax. I'm a fan of Midas. I'm a fan of MIM. I'm a fan of, Sammy. I'm talking about Christian Sammy. You feel me?
Right.
I'm a fan of these people. I came back from Europe. The first thing I did was go in the studio with Swanberg and Da Vinci. I hooked right up, went right downtown. I'm a fan of these dudes out here, man. These dudes out here got crazy talent, dog. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? They don't got to be a fan of me. I'm not in it for that. I'm a fan. They inspire me. That's how I keep doing. That's why I keep doing this music, because they inspire me.
Right. And there's hella MCs, there's hella singers, there's hella producers, there's hella DJs, there's hella fucking actors. You name it. You go down the gamut, and there's just nonstop. We're flooded. We're the golden corral of the nation because those people
let me tell you something. When this coronavirus is over, I consider the Milk District the official. That's like the hip hop. That's like, yo, where's the if somebody was new here and they said, yo, so where's the hip hop at? Yo, go to the Milk District. I love it. I love what Swam doing over there and what he was doing. I love what you're doing over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, for real, yo, Rome, we gonna give you a clap, bro, for real. Yo, because I hope everybody in the O really understand what Rome is doing for us, man. For real, they're giving us a platform, y'all, so we can win. We got to ride with that, man. Well, when I saw Nasty on the show, I was like, oh no, these niggas gotta comply. Hey, yo, did Magic Mike hit you yet?
Not yet, bro.
Hey, Mike. Mike, if you listening, Mike, yo, listen, man. I'm on the phone with your brother, Dirty Lingo, all the time. He in Atlanta. You know, me and him gonna murder it. You already know what it is. Mike, you got to get on the show, B. Get on the show, fam. You already know. You know what I'm saying? You royalty out here, man. You already know. Magic Mike, if you watching the show, get on the show. Sounds of Orlando. You know what it is. Hit Rome up. You got to comply. Everybody complying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Make it happen.
I appreciate that, Bridget. You know my philosophy at the end of the day. I'm not crazy. I'm not doing anything. I'm not reinventing anything here. This is what needed to happen. I just so happen to be the one doing it, and that's fine. This should be inspiring everyone to get the conversation up off of them and more about the city in general, and just hear everyone from all parts of the O from a different fucking perspective. To start listening instead of telling people what they're not going to do. Right. Why don't we start listening to what people are doing and bring that to the table versus what's been going on, this business model that has not worked. This is what we're doing. And
Hold on, how long was you gone? You was in Kansas City for how long?
12 years, brother.
You was there 12 years. 12 years, right? Okay, 12 years. I don't know what niggas was acting like they was doing. Maybe we were supposed to be waiting on this. But now that it's here, 12 years. You was gone from the O, 12 years. You came back, put the city on your back, and got this shit lit, Rome. I'm telling you. I'm with you, Rome. And I know it's some brothers that I talk to on a daily basis out here in the O that's with you, dog. I'm proud of you, man. You inspiring us all, for real. And for those who won't admit it, you inspiring us all, dog.
Wow.
I put it out there, dog.
I love that you said that because knowing what good is inspiring, it also inspires this mode of indifference. Because a lot of people, they're still kind of like, is this possible? Because it is possible.
For once, it's finally possible.
You know, there used to be an old code in business when bringing two people to the table, you want an honest broker. For whatever reason, I've become that person, and that's fine. Because at the end of the day, it's about the entire city. And you represent the sound of Orlando. You could have been with Hit Squad, shit. You could have been with Death Row. You still are the sound of Orlando. This is why this is so important for our city. We're looking at things from an honest perspective, and it's needed. When you got with the Hoodsman, you know, that within itself was one of the few people out here that had a deal and started to do your thing in a major way, take it overseas and whatnot. Talk about what that did for your experience in realizing that the world is bigger than
Yeah,
our
yeah,
little brains.
yeah. That was a crazy. Yeah, okay, because that was Simon Harris. You know, Simon Harris overseas, he's equivalent to like what Russell Simmons was over here. So Simon Harris, you know, he discovers me. Drew and them, they wrap it up, package it nice. So Simon Harris, he says, "Yeah, I like this guy. I like these guys. I want to sign him." So he signs me. I get my first, you know, I'm bugging out because it's over there. We never been over there. We never did business over there. You know, Drew handled the business, made sure everything was right. So everything was right. It was just really weird, man, to be, you know, that's something that I tell people all the time. My career in music didn't start here. It started over there.
Right.
So it was weird. You know what I'm saying? What's even more weird is when I went back over there in 2018, some lady came up to me at the chip shop and was like, "Yo, I grew up on Rhyme Ripper." I was like, "Wow." I mean, I didn't even know how to take it. It bugged me out.
Right.
You know, and we started talking about the guy who sounded like Dracula. She was talking about Ja Born. You know what I'm saying? You know, obviously Ja Born is in Jamaica, but you know, it was weird. The entire experience was weird, especially talking to people on the phone and doing radio interviews. It was really weird. It was really weird. But you know, I adjusted after a while, you know, but it was weird. And it did show me, you know, it showed me the deep love for hip hop that they have. Like I'm a hip hop junkie. Like I know you're a hip hop junkie. But these people are like, these some real hip hop heads, bro. Like,
Well, I love that you said that because if we're being real about it, the overseas aspect when it comes to the support of hip hop culture, just in general, tends to accept hip hop as what a church would, right? Come
right.
as you are. They actually love
Yeah.
you a whole lot better.
Yeah, those cats are grateful, bro. Like, yo, let me tell you
They
something.
love
Yo,
the
I was at a radio
oh,
station. It must have been, I was at a radio station. It must have been like 30 MCs showed up to just not really to battle or whatever, but just to participate, just to see an American on the ground right next to them doing something that they absolutely love and just like kind of just loving me being from a birthplace or going to a birthplace of hip hop that they could never go. They're not gonna go. They can't go.
you
So
know what's so dope about hip hop? What's really dope about hip hop, and I'm going to take it back to the history of America. Part of the history of America was to erase our culture. Great quote from one of my favorite songs ever made, Night of the Living Bassheads. And he said, "Have you forgotten that once we were brought here, we were robbed of our name, robbed of our language, robbed
our religion,
of
our culture, our
our
God.
God. And
Many of us, by the way we act,
we even
we
lost
lost
our
our
mind."
mind.
And he was absolutely right. And hip hop became everything that was lost. Because for a lot of us, hip hop became the religion. For a
Right,
lot of us, hip hop became our God. For a
right,
lot of us, hip hop was our culture. Like
yeah,
it was the equivalent of being Puerto Rican or being Haitian. It was a culture. Like you knew this person, even if you didn't speak the language, this person, he's still your brother
right.
based on hip hop.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he,
no doubt.
and you know that's what hip hop offers overseas. It offers this idea
Yeah,
that regardless to what borders and what cultures and what religions divide us, hip hop brings us together because we are all brought together
yeah,
based on this idea that we have. We're the have-nots. We know what struggles are. We know what it is to. All you
Right.
got is your voice. All you got is a beatbox. All you
Right.
got is a pen. You know, all you got is your expression to dance. You know, all you got is your willingness to make beats or sample. Like we
Right.
know this unites us all. I think that's so dope that we are only but the internet away from speaking to the entire world at all times. At
Yeah.
all times. And I
For
think
sure.
that's dope for hip hop. I think that is dope for the ability to observe and understand and gain wisdom. Because when you start thinking that you're alone, when you start thinking people ain't into you, there's a
Right.
whole fucking planet
Yeah.
that are waiting to hear you.
Yeah.
A
That's
whole fucking planet.
yeah.
You know, so um, one of the inspirations that I see that what you do and how you do, and what's a great example for Orlando, given our heroes, given the people that have inspired many, is that age is not a factor. You are
Nah,
still fucking doing
nah.
what you were
In
doing
fact, in fact, we embracing,
the day that I
we
met.
embracing the senior. We embracing the senior, man. Hey, listen, we aging gracefully, man. We
Right.
aging gracefully, baby. It's a good look. Listen, it's a good look to be an older nigga, knowing that you're not gonna do something stupid. That's the good thing. Because real niggas is going to work. Real niggas is taking care of their kids. Real niggas is making sure their grandchildren is good. Real niggas is making sure it's food in the house. Real niggas is going to school or going to work. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
easy. It's easy when you're older because there's no playing. There's no time for games. We know what we got to do. We grateful.
And you know what you want to say.
That's it.
It's funny how there are people on the planet that have nothing to say, tell people that do have something to say that they no longer have a place to be heard, which is hilarious in that metaphor. It's
All
just
right.
completely hilarious. Like, yeah, maybe your town is infested. Maybe your few blocks are infested with people that are completely deaf and ignore logic and
All right.
ignore, soulful shit, and are consumed by the dollar bill. But there's an entire planet of people that are just as fed up as you of hearing the same voice, but
Yeah.
not hearing the same or not feeling the same energy.
All right.
And feeling like they're alone. Shout out to everybody that knows about the lie of that that can be influenced on people. Like when it comes to you being alone. Um,
Right.
and I'm saying all of that. I'm saying all of that to say this: you represent an idea and a philosophy that is actually the more valuable. Because at the end of the day, you're breathing. You came in this planet and, you were a child, and this music has allowed you to remain a child.
Yeah,
It,
exactly.
this hip hop culture has given you the fountain of youth to continue to be able to speak the native language and speak in a frequency in which people can vibrate with. And it don't matter if you came from here or came from anywhere, that still would be the truth. We have to acknowledge when our people have the courage to not allow people to tell them that if you was gonna do something, you should have already done it. Blah blah
Right.
blah blah blah.
Right. My parents. It's crazy that you say that. My parents, my parents always supported me. My sisters, I've done a lot, man. My people are proud of me. I never really had that from my family. Oh, you need to, don't do the music or whatever, whatever. Nah, because my people see what I've done. They know what it is. They know it. You know, I tell my son all the time, you know, my son's proud of me because we're not quitters. We got a lot of starters, Rome. We got no finishers.
Right.
We got no finishers, dog. I always tell my son, whatever you start finishing.
Right.
I've done pretty good.
We're bringing controversy to the
finishing.
fucking show. We're bringing controversy to the show because you just said something that just went. Okay. No. Fuck a finish. Forget about finishing anything. The conclusion is death. Continue learning. Continue figuring it out. Continue starting. Start over 100 million times. Start over the entire life that you're on this fucking planet. Because starting over means you still have a job to do.
Right.
Complete. Shout out to Grandmaster D on the check-in. Yes, sir.
Grandmaster D.
The Invincible. Grandmaster D Houdini on the check-in, man. Yo, what's
up? Group, man. Word up.
Yes. You know, like, it doesn't matter that people finish.
Right.
Your job isn't finished. And that should be
really isn't.
Like, right. I love that you said, all right, fuck that. I'm gonna be Cydney Poitier now. That means you started over. You didn't finish Unique Me.
Right.
It's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
And we're all a work in progress.
And I've been feeling Cydney Poitier for about 3 years, really.
Right.
I've been feeling Cydney for about 3 years. I only talked to a couple of people about it. I didn't really talk much about it. But then I felt like it was time to come full circle with it. And so, you know, and we'll get into that later on, too.
And shout out to everybody that's tuning in because, we're not talking about the bars. We're not talking about who's got the hit song and who doesn't. We're not talking about the stuff that you may hear in other areas of the world. We're talking about how this man feels, how this man operates, what he's thinking about, giving you insight on what makes him, with no pun intended, tick. You know, like, we got to be able to talk to each other as men and allow people to feel like they have a space to talk and not feel like someone's only after them for their value. Meaning, I'm after you so you could say some hippity hop shit and we're all good. That's not what this show is about. It's about the story of Orlando. That story is an honest story. There's heartbreak in it. There's love in it. There's sacrifice in it. And, you know, when I talk to you, like I said, we are all experiencing a heavy load this 2020. Talk about how COVID-19 has affected you, not only as a hip-hop artist, but as a human being.
COVID-19, okay. First of all, you know, me and my wife, you know, Carmen, we've had the family business for about 10 years now. So she goes out and runs the family business, and I do my thing during the day, whatever, then we come back home. And so my wife caught the coronavirus. She must have caught it, you know, this was months ago. And she caught it and brought it home. She didn't know she had it. So then we had to get checked. I ended up having it, and I didn't have any symptoms. She has asthma. So, you know, she had some symptoms, you know, but we made sure that we quarantined everything. But what it did to me was, I mean, I had to quarantine together. It was like 50 days. It was 20, 25 for me, 25 for her. It was 50 days away from each other. And it gave me an appreciation. It gave me appreciation for a lot of things, man. I mean, the whole time from then till now, you know, from then till, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, You know, I did 25 songs. I did 25 songs, man. I was writing shit like damn, what if I don't make it? Like I was some of the songs it was just writing. It just made me appreciate everything. And you know, Rome, I just became a grandfather. You know, and I started thinking,
Congratulations.
well,
And black
yeah,
man
no,
on this planet, and
yeah,
you
man, Nova
fucking up.
Nicole, you know, she's beautiful. You know, my son Keith, you know, baby girl. I started thinking about a lot of things, and then I started thinking about when it came to my granddaughter. I started thinking, well, damn, I can't leave here because I want this world to be a better place for her.
Right.
And things just started, you know, piling on. You know, you can't go. We couldn't go anywhere. We was locked in the house. They was bringing us food. It just made me appreciate my music, my wife, my family, my sisters. Just it made me appreciate the people around me, and it made me appreciate the people who might not appreciate me.
Right. Talk about it.
Because a loss of life, bro, was tremendous, bro. And I'm sure we all have people or people we knew that might not have made it or whatever. But I just know that, man, to have COVID-19, man, and you locked up, you can't go nowhere, man. You start thinking about what's really important. And for
And
me,
you know what's crazy about COVID-19? And
yeah,
shout out to anybody that survived it. Kudos, blessings, love to anybody that's dealing with it, with family members, and may have lost anybody. May God bless your life. Please believe me. But what COVID also has done is brought things back that we've lived long enough to
right,
see, which
yeah,
wasn't guaranteed, but we've lived long enough to see. COVID has introduced a dynamic that wasn't seen since our childhood, right? Like, and what's the odds in that? In a world in which everyone says you're old after 25,
right,
we've been brought back. We all been brought back to what it feels like to be a child. Meaning, the most valuable things in your life is your family, the freedom to create and express as if your life depended on it,
yeah,
and the idea that you must forgive quickly and love deeply. And I think that shit is just fucking awesome. I mean, it took COVID to do it,
yeah,
but
man.
man,
Yeah,
you
I have to, you know,
hey,
like I find myself physically telling people, you know, you know, I find it very easy, you know, nowadays to be like, yo, I love you, man. You know, take care of yourself. You
right,
know, now listen, man. The people leaving the planet, dog.
right,
You know what I'm saying? People ask me what I wish. I wish I would have told Trini I loved him before he died.
right.
I wish I could have did that, man. You know, and that's what
And think of
COVID.
the hell of COVID.
Yeah,
COVID is a disease in which you can't even say goodbye,
for real.
right? So
Yeah,
it's a reminder of how important relationships are.
very
I think
important.
hip hop, I think of it as being a relationship. It's hip hop has been the best and worst thing to me my entire life. I've lost family over hip hop. I've
Yeah,
gained family over hip
for
hop.
hip hop. Yeah,
Like hip hop was complete blissful love and complete heartbreak all at the same time. But I wouldn't trade that for the world because the idea of buying your way out of a soul, buying your way out of wisdom and knowledge and understanding and family and love and empathy,
yeah.
there's no amount of money in this world
That
that
can
can
compare to that.
ever
Yeah,
bring back a COVID-19 patient that is gone.
yeah,
You know, there's no amount of money in this world. We've seen it with President Trump, supposedly. The
right,
whole damn White House caught it.
right.
And they got all the money in the world.
Yeah,
You know, so, I'm saying all of this because I know a lot of times, we're talking about this show as a beacon for Orlando, but I want to define what that beacon is, because that beacon is a whole lot more on what you bring into the table. The beacon is that we are talking about the value of humanity in our city, the value of our people, man. Our people are out here, struggling to survive. We're all fighting, different wars.
Yeah.
And when you see somebody can tell you, hey, bro, despite all the madness that's going on, I'm releasing this.
Right.
That is to be applauded, to be celebrated in the midst of the blur, in the midst of the chaos.
For sure.
We rise, and this is what you're doing with your brand new music. Oh, hold up. Brand new music? Oh, are we about to talk about brand? Hold up!
Hey, yo! Breaking news never stops.
Turn this motherfucking sound up, man. Blast this, turn the whole this up.
Turn it up. Talk about the brand new project, Cydney Poitier. Let's go.
Cydney Poitier, POV, you know what I'm saying? The good people at GFR, some entrepreneurs, man. Big shouts to J Mob, man. You know what I'm saying? He's under the weather right now. But yo, we got together, man. You can see we got the bucket hats. I got the Cydney Poitier bucket hats. I got the shirts. The new album, Point of View. It's banging. It's banging, man. Yo, seriously, I raised the bar on this, man. I raised the bar on this, dog. And like I told you, a lot of things have happened this year. A lot of things have happened to our world, not just our city, but our world. And I had to, I had to get some things off my chest, but I also had to, right some wrongs. As an OG, certain people look up to me. And I had to take that responsibility and act like an OG. You feel me? So, this produced by, Big Beats and Exit 8. These boys, Exit 8 produced the album from the ground up. I'm talking about this man gave me exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. And we raised the bar on this. And I'm telling you, the quality of this is crazy because it's dirty, but it's clean. It's good.
And who are the producers behind this piece of work?
The producers behind this piece of work is Big produced the first single, which is Pressure Point. And then Exit 8, he produced the rest of the album. And it's a masterpiece, man. We're excited about it, bro.
When is this project dropping?
The project is dropping January 5th.
Oh, hey. Hold on. Breaking news, people.
Hey, yo! Breaking news never stops.
Turn this motherfucking sound up, man. Blast this, turn the whole this up.
When is it dropping, my dude?
Dropping January 5th. You know what I mean?
January 5th. Capricorn, stand up. All Capricorns, hold tight. I am a Capricorn, so I'm immediately gratified that new music drops on the first month of the year. We set the whole year off. If it wasn't for Capricorns, ain't nothing happening, man. We set the year off. Oh.
We going in first quarter. You already know, man.
Let's go. So, what was your motivation to make this album? Talk about the things that inspired you. What were you looking at? Is this a conceptual album, or is this just you saying, you know what, it's over?
Right. Well,
everything we had before it's over. It's over.
Right. Well, it tells a story from start to finish. It's what inspires me about this. First of all, Point of View is probably a year in the making, maybe a year and a couple of months in the making. COVID-19, pre-COVID, whatever. But it's been in the works for a minute. And It's motivated by a lot of things, man. You know, it's motivated by the city. It's motivated by you. Me and you've been talking for a long time, Rome, about the stuff that I wanted to do. With this solo album, you know what I'm saying, is I feel like I raised the bar. You know, people tell me, they say, yo, man, you on that frequency, bro. You know, they say when you on that frequency, man, you can do it for a long time. But I feel like I raised the bar on it, man, and I'm inspired just in general in the things that has been going on in 2020. Right. And beyond that, things that I've experienced in my lifetime with this music.
Right.
So, you know, and not only that, I want to point out, because it's important that people need to understand this. On the album, you know, point of view, every song on the album, every title song on the album is named after a Cydney Poitier movie. not that the song is related to the movie, but the song has the feel of that title of that movie. You feel me?
Right.
So I want people to understand that for the new people who don't know, to make it easy for your generation, Denzel Washington got his stuff from Cydney Poitier. Cydney Poitier was the first, and Denzel Washington was the second. Just to let the younger people know who don't know about Cydney Poitier. Because in my living room, Cydney Poitier was a hero.
Right.
And he was one of the first black men on screen. He didn't have to play a drug dealer, because you know how they do you. Back in them days, they put you on, you know, you're going to be a pimp, you're going to be a drug dealer, or you're going to be a criminal or something like that. I mean, Cydney Poitier was an intellectual from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? And this is intellectual hip-hop. For real. It's a lot of things that happened this year, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and you know what's dope about what you said, man? You know, at the end of the day, bro, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of dope stuff to say, you know what? We finna do this. We finna do this in a real way. And my past actually inspires my present. You know, when you're talking about Cydney Poitier, for a lot of people, that's they past, or they probably wouldn't even, you know, live long enough to ever even see a Cydney Poitier movie. Right. So, you know, shout out to DJ Quest, China Johnson on the check-in. Once again, Grandmaster D. If it's all right with you, it's all right with me. He's on the check-in, man. You know, like, to do something this insane, representing the ozone, whether you like it or not, you know, like, that's everything, man. Like, I love that just on some regular GP business, because at the end of the day, you know, I ain't heard nobody mention that dude. I ain't heard nobody even say, like, yo, I'm going to do something based on the names of what he represents. Like, all of that is everything. But on the real, where can we find that come January? Where can we find
wherever music is sold? It'll be on all the platforms. You can get it on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever music is sold, you'll be able to get it. You know what I'm saying? We was real busy today, bro. We shot videos today and everything, all up in rock and roll heaven, shooting vid. Crazy. Some monumental spots in the Old Town City.
Right. Talk about it. And you're in the studio.
Yeah, we're in Studio 18 right now.
Studio 18, and who do you got there, man? Who's with you?
I got Haku with me. I got The Hills is in the building.
Let's go.
My people A in the building.
Let's
go.
What
I mean? So, you know, because, you know, I'm about to have this listening party, man, you know, at 8 o'clock. So, you know, I invited some people. You know, we got some Ciroc, some finger food in the building. And we're going to hear this whole album. You know, it's probably about 15, 16 people going to show up. and we're gonna get down to business with this album. You feel me?
Hey, well, you're going to have to throw me that address, man. I may slide through for like a couple of seconds, man.
All right, come through. Slide through. I'll hit you with the address.
Yeah, you already know.
Get off.
Shout out to Dave Hills, D Hills. He's
Yeah.
coming on. We're trying to get him on right before Christmas, man. You know,
He on the 24. You know Hills.
right. So we're still working on that. We're going to make it happen.
No
Shout out
doubt.
to Gasface Records, who
Yes,
represents an
Mom.
a brand new fusion of
I
dope.
want to introduce the world to Haku. Because when I first heard him rap, I was like, whoa. Slow flow. PMD would love this dude. Slow flow is a killer. His voice is crazy. He's the only feature on my album, and he's on 2 joints. I ain't gonna tell you what 2 joints he's on, but he's on 2 joints. Remember when I told you, look out for this dude, Haku. You feel me? The nature bird.
Yeah,
man.
you heard it, world.
Remember that.
He just put out
Man.
Haku as a point of reference for the city of the O. Please believe me, we have so many people out here that are doing their thing, man. Yo, Orlando's a tough place to try to roll, man.
It is, man.
If you ain't about that music, man, it's gonna be tough for you, man. Come 2021.
You already know. You heard?
Yeah.
You already know.
Now, before we continue, one of my favorite points of the show is top 5 dead or alive. Let's go.
Top 5. I'm gonna have to put
MCs.
I'm gonna have to put Jadakiss in there.
Yes. Let's go.
I'm gonna have to put Rock Marciano in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to put Sean Price in there.
Sean Price, rest in peace. Yes.
What do I got? What I got? I'm gonna have to put Nas in there.
Yeah, that's Queens, man. Come on, man.
What I got? One more?
One more, brother.
I'm gonna put AZ in there.
Okay. AZ, man. You don't hear, shout out to Doo-Wop and AZ, man. They've been doing some great things, man.
They've been doing some great things. Word.
Yo, I'm still waiting, Doo-Wop, man. What's up with AZ, man? Let's go. Shouts out to Nas, who is still
that album
reinventing himself. He's still reinventing himself.
He is, definitely is.
And when you talk about Rock Marciano, he's one of the unsung heroes of this new wave.
Yo, Rock Marciano's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Marciano, Rock Marciano been around for a minute.
Yeah, he's been around for a minute, but this particular wave, like the ocean, wave, it's moving things, man. It's giving people a different look. It's giving people a different.
Some guys out there that I'm feeling like, XP the Marksman, Kai, he's another guy been out for a long time too. Kai, it's a few dudes, Flea Lord. Flea Lord, I'm feeling Flea Lord a little bit, you know what I mean? It's a few cats out there, I know
top 5, top 5 producers.
I'm a fan of some cats out there. There's a few of them out there that I like.
Top 5 producers, dead or alive. Go.
His in?
Top. Oh. Looks like we lost him for a minute. Hey, man, shouts out to everybody on the check-in, man. We love y'all, man. We love the support that you guys are giving, man. We're waiting for them to link that link back up. We represent the city of the O. It's a beautiful thing, man. Anytime Orlando comes out, we are a beautiful bunch, man. Shouts out to everybody. DJ Sammy B, my man Rick, my man, Grandmaster D, who's on the check-in tonight, man. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to China Johnson. Shouts out to David Hill. Shouts out to Benny. Shouts out to my man, John Noon, a.k.a. J-Mob, man. Yo, you represent that hip-hop well, man. Shouts out to you. They, as a collective, Rock Rob and J-Mob represent Gas Face Records, man. Please believe me, man. So, let's see what's going on with these guys here, if they're coming back. And if not, hey, man, we will be back in a few. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let's see what we got going on here. That's why you gotta love Wi-Fi, man. Wi-Fi will do some damage. Big up to my man Seth One on the check-in. Let's see what we got going on here. Looks like we lost him. So I'm gonna try to ride it out for a minute, man. Hey, shouts out to everybody that supports the Soul Show, man. We love y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. Hey, for this Christmas Eve, man, for this Christmas holidays we got going on, please believe me, go and purchase you a Soul Show shirt to support the city of Orlando, bro. Support the city's hip hop, the city's R&B, the city's talented, man. Go out there and support the Soul Show, man. We got shirts on sale just in time for the holidays, man. So, yes, shout out to my man Rick. He said, push the shirts. We're pushing the shirts, man. Please believe me, man. We got the shirts on sale. If you support the Soul Show, man, it is nothing. You can buy yourself a shirt and then buy your people's a shirt, man. Yo, support the Soul Show movement. We love y'all, man. We're all rooting for the city, man. It's all about the Soul Show. You can find it at the Soul Show page. Like and follow at the Soul Show. Please believe me, we're on Facebook. It is easy to find us. Yeah, connection went down. We just got that. Okay, boom. Yep, the connection. I'm still on, buddy. I'm still on. You see me on the phone right now, right? I'm still on. Shouts out to Unique Me, man, who represented tonight, man. We love y'all, man. Thank you for showing up tonight, man. Shouts out to everybody on the check-in. Let's see who we got here. Hey, man, appreciate you, Grandmaster D. Appreciate you, brother. Please believe me. All we need is support, man. Shout out to anybody that supports the Sound of Orlando. These shirts are on sale. You can find it at the Soul Show page on my Facebook. Please believe me. Go support the Sound of Orlando. We are all about that, man. We love y'all, man. Peace and hair grease, man. We will be back tomorrow with Jill Strada. She is no joke, man. I can't believe I'm going to be on with my sister tomorrow. Shout out to Jill Strada. She will be on the Soul Show tomorrow night. But until then, hey, it's all good.